Welcome back, everybody, to Lonely Basement. Baseball cards. Guys, I was chatting with the hobby president, John Mangini, in the comments of one of his videos. And it got me thinking, and I wanted to show a little something because it actually got me thinking. He got me thinking. The president does that. He gets you thinking. I was chatting with him, and, we are close friends. By close friends, I mean I shook his hand once at the YouTube gathering and told him I love what he did. And then saw him at the National on the sales floor. And as I approached to show him, I wanted to tell him about something, a Clemente thing I saw. And, if you've ever seen Mangini on the floor at the National, he's flanked. So I started to approach, and he was behind Lou Rock before his readers. This is, last year before the readers. So his eagle eyes. Then dead center, there's Rick, vintage oddball cards, looking fierce, big man. And on the end, you got Don, Field of Dreams. And Don is just like, so I'm looking at Don. I'm like, I'm going to go around Don and do like a Dexter Manley and come around the end and I'll get to Mangini and I can talk to him. But Don's footwork, man, the guy's got great feet for a big man. So I was unable to get through the steel curtain. And, that's what happens. The man's got protection. Always use protection. So we were talking about slabs, and I made a little joke. We kind of joke about slabs and grading occasionally. And I made a little joke, and he made a little joke, and he kind of made a tongue-in-cheek joke about slabs and collecting empty old slabs. And I said, it's actually not a terrible idea, like having a slab museum. And I meant that. I was kind of making a joke, but I meant it when I thought about it. Because what do? We love baseball cards. We love the history of baseball cards. We love baseball cards. And one day these slabs are going to be the history of baseball cards. One day, my grandkids are going to walk in to the Mangini Museum, and there's going to be a whole row of slabs, and they're going to look at them and they go, I can't believe they used to put their cards in those things. That's crazy. Why would they put their cards in those things? Why would they? Mind's blown. So it got me thinking, what kind of slabs do I have? And it got me thinking about the slabs I have and the history of slabs and the history of card protection. Protect your cards. So I dug into the box and I just, originally, obviously, baseball cards were, that's the wrong baseball card. You know what's funny? I need a raw card, and I'm looking at my whole table, and there's cards everywhere, and I ain't got a raw card. There's not one here. Here, this is raw. This card is raw. This is the original baseball cards. We might put a rubber band around them and have just a raw card that you touched. That is step A. Now, and this is a history lesson, ladies and gentlemen, so just be aware. And then at some point, we decided we needed these milky, cloudy plastic bags. And if you didn't have these, like me, you took one of these and you cut it up into these. So you had these. Excellent. As we got older, my generation, we started to have yellow plastic holders, the color of urine. Beautiful. And then we continued to move on. As we grew up, we had things like this. That's a cool one. This housed my 1961 Duke Schneider for probably about 35 years in my box. My hot mess box in my closet at my mother's house. And it did quite well, by the way. Protected it fine. We had these little side panels. Gotta love the side panels. And then we graduated and we started having things like one touches. And, well, we skipped some. Before the one touches, we had things like this. Our beautiful holder for our Donnie baseball. Screw downs. How about this bad boy? You like these? This is a true screw down. These are actual screws just drilled in to actual plexi. Real stuff. So these are the kinds of things we did. And we held our cards in binders with our binder pages. Now, we had clamshells. Now, almost most of these things, besides top loaders and these new fancy guys, I don't use much of these anymore. I use top loaders, I use these. And my cards go in sleeves. And they come in slabs sometimes. But this is the kind of stuff we've gone from, and this is the journey, the collecting journey from raw through the ages to what we have now, slabs. So I thought one day these are going to be just like this, because things always change. Always. And my grandkids will love the Mangini Museum and the history of slabs. So I pulled some slabs out because I wanted to just see what I had. Now this is cheating, but we have to show a James Gillum slab. There you go. Mag Pro. James Gillum. So I pulled basically every slab I have. And just to look. And this is basically what I got. So let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like about 7 different kinds of slabs. So let's start with SGC. This is an old SGC holder with the green. And I know I didn't pull like 100 different versions of PSA, by the way. Just different ones. The ones that are different. So we have SGC. That was 1. Then we have the new SGC, which is 2. And I don't collect slabs, let's be clear. I have Beckett. Auto. Billy. We have Beckett. And then we have PSA. We have some old PSA. This is an old PSA. It's kind of blue on the back. Old PSA. And then this PSA is different color on the back. So I don't know if it's the same generation, but it's a different color, different numbers. But it doesn't have the little thingy. And then we move into the PSA with the little thingy. It's got the thingy. And the shininess. There you go. This one has the other thingy. Right here. That this one does not have. And then finally, PGC. This card I picked up, Premier Grading Company. I picked up my local card shop as a joke, kind of, because I saw it. He had it sitting there, and I was like, seriously? How much you want for it? He's like, oh, like $10. I'm like, come on, $10 really? You want to? So I talked him down. I was like, come on. I just wanted to have it because I wanted the slab. This stupid, dumb slab in the classic Jeter. So I picked it up for a few bucks. If it was raw, I might not have bought it. I just wanted this card. Card completely moves in here, by the way. For the slab. And then finally, this one, EMC grading. There's little Yaz Kellogg's. We love our cereal in the basement. And there's little EMC grading. So that is my slab style collection. And that is, like I said, 7 different kinds of slabs. Or I'm sorry, it's actually 8 because the one was different. There's 8 different kinds of slabs that I own. Now, I know a lot of people probably own one kind of slab, and a lot of people own like 50 slabs, but I own 8 different kinds of slabs. And I don't know how many slabs I have, I didn't count them, but it's less than 50 probably. And I have 8 different kinds of plastic here. So I guess my point of all this is that all this has come and gone. Although we still use these. They're just clearer. All this has come and gone, and these two shall pass in some way, shape, or form. Maybe one day we'll just hold our cards in our fingers again. So that's what I got for you on slabs. A little history of my collection through plastic. Duke was well protected. Y'all have a great one.